Wow, what a crazy morning. So we just got a freaking nuke of information about Nintendo this year and their schedule and their plans thanks to Nate the Hate. If you don't know who Nate the Hate is, he's the only source that we can 100% trust because he's never been wrong. He's been 100% spot on with all of his information, with every direct that he's ever leaked. He's pretty much the new PRO, and he has information on tons of stuff. I want to get into all that stuff later, though. It's not going to be in this video. We're going to focus on one thing and one thing only, and that is a brand new Star Fox game is apparently coming, and it's going to be announced literally in April, like literally that soon, and released this summer. There's so much more information I don't want to talk about, but before we get started, I want to quickly thank Temu for sponsoring today's video. Thanks to Temu, you can find thousands of Nintendo products at pretty awesome deals. Just use my code right here, and all you have to do is put it into the search box, not at checkout at the end, just literally slap it into your search box, and you will get a $0, yes, $0 Nintendo Switch 1 charging kit for your dock. That's if you also make some other purchases as well, but there's so much stuff on the website, like why wouldn't you? Plus, odds are some of you out there, most of you out there probably haven't even gotten a Switch 2 yet, because why would you pay $450 for just Donkey Kong? I'm kidding, there's other games. But outside of the awesome charging dock, there's tons of other Nintendo products that are priced down, thankfully, because some of this stuff is really expensive nowadays, especially Nintendo products, so you can get Legos, toys, video games, you name it, at extremely good prices. And don't worry, each product has tons of reviews that you can check out before purchasing. So all you have to do is use my code right now, slap it into the search box, and you can get yourself a $0 product plus some other really cool deals on Nintendo merchandise. And shoot, it doesn't even have to just be Nintendo merchandise. There's so many things on here that you can purchase. It's absolutely insane, from electronics to everyday living household things. Yeah, you can go crazy, go buck wild. Use my code, slap it into the search box, and get yourself something good from Temu today. And big thanks again to Temu for sponsoring today's video. So I will link Nate the Hate's podcast down below so you can get all the information. There's not a lot of information, at least with the Star Fox game, but I think it's really awesome what he does and get us hyped for these games by giving us some inside information and some scoops as to what's coming. But yes, a brand new Star Fox game is coming as the big summer game, which is so freaking awesome, dude. I'm telling you right now, as a huge 3D Mario fan, this is another one of the few series I actually grew up with. I grew up playing, not even Zelda, I grew up playing Mario and Star Fox and Kirby. I played every game outside of Adventures. For some reason, I just never got around to playing that one. I even played Command. Yeah, I was in my bed at night wiping smoke off my screen on my DS in order to form a path to the next mission. It was so bad. But yeah, I am a big Star Fox fan. It's hard to be a fan when there's just no games coming out. I mean, I personally thought Star Fox Zero was really good. It just wasn't the greatest. I had a blast with it on my Wii U, but a lot of people didn't like it. It felt like it was still retelling that same story over and over and over again from the 64, and not really evolving the series forward enough. So we're getting a new one apparently. But what's weird about this is, I'll throw in another sneak here. Nate the Hate does say that he hasn't heard of any type of general Nintendo Direct coming anytime soon, and he thinks it's not going to be until June. That's what he's expecting. So with no Nintendo Direct on the horizon, how in the world is Nintendo just going to come out and just reveal a Star Fox game? I feel like this is the part that I'm upset about the most. I know we don't need Nintendo Directs just to have reactions and stuff from content creators and people all over the planet, but something like this to end a show, or maybe even to start a show, could be huge, where everybody's eyes are on this thing at the same time. Nintendo just coming out one Tuesday morning and saying, hey, here's a brand new Star Fox game coming to Switch 2, since we haven't had one since the Wii U with Star Fox Zero, is so strange. Like, it is so weird to me. It's just like, why? Nintendo, you want all eyes on this thing. It just makes so much sense to have a big presentation and have this start or end the show, but it doesn't look like that's what's going to happen. Instead, Nintendo is probably just going to pop out and show us this thing. I would expect sometime after Super Mario Galaxy's movie releases. So I'd say between the 2nd and 4th week of April makes the most sense to me. So yeah, dude, this is awesome, but this is honestly something that makes so much sense. And it's funny because the podcast that Nate the Hate had, I believe he didn't even start recording it until like yesterday or sometime before the official Star Fox news for the Mario Galaxy movie came out. So this was before that, which just makes even more sense now. But if you don't know and you haven't heard, Star Fox, Fox McCloud himself, has been announced to be in the Super Mario Galaxy movie. We don't know to what extent. We also just learned this morning that he's being voiced by none other than Glenn Powell. I don't know about you, but this just works. I feel like this is like a perfect voice for him and stuff. But yeah, also he's a big Hollywood name, and I feel like they are choosing a big name for a reason. I really do feel like this is going to lead to a Star Fox movie, and it makes even more sense if a Star Fox game is coming out. A lot of us were wanting to see a big 3D Mario to coincide with the movie's release, but 3D Mario doesn't necessarily need a movie to generate hype. It's a freaking 3D Mario. Like, everybody's going to love that thing. But I feel like a Star Fox game absolutely needs a big debut somewhere outside of just a new game coming out, and them making him a, somewhat important character in the movie is pretty daggone awesome. So it's telling me that Nintendo's really trying to push Star Fox. They're going to have a game announcement shortly after the movie comes out and people see Star Fox. Oh my gosh, it's going to be perfect. Now, this is all great and dandy, but the question is, how is this Star Fox going to differ from the ones we've seen in the past? Are we going to get an adventure-based Star Fox game? Is it going to be a classic-based one? Now, Nate only has a little bit of information about it, but it's enough to give us a kind of picture as to what to expect here. Well, apparently, it's going to be a classic Star Fox game. This is going to be something like 64. I'm praying to God it's not the same freaking story with Andross over and over and over again. In fact, I low-key kind of want there to be a new villain just for the sake of it. Please just do not repeat the same story again. You've been doing this over and over and over again. It's the main reason why people do not like it. It's because it just keeps feeling bland. Like, keep the gameplay similar, but also revamp the story, make it new and interesting, and add some things that are like things we didn't expect. And Star Fox Zero did that. It had like helicopter missions with the gyrocopter. There was just different things that it tried, even the walker form, and it did pretty well. Honestly, I think one of the major issues with Star Fox Zero was unfortunately the gamepad stuff. Like, yeah, it just sucks trying to control that game with a gamepad, but actually having a pro controller in your hand with this new game is going to feel so good. But yeah, I mean, there's not much I think you can do to mess this game up. My biggest complaint with Star Fox over the years has been the same thing over and over and over again. The games are way too short. I mean, you can blast through Star Fox Zero in a handful of hours, and same with the original in the 64. This game needs to have a lot more content in it. It needs to have a lot of replay value as well. Collectibles in each level, multiple branching paths. I mean, a very long story mode that doesn't take an hour or so to get through. I get why they do that, because there's so many branching paths and you want to get to the end quickly. But still, if they're going to do that, there needs to be, I'm talking like 40 branching paths. This game needs to feel massive with content. It doesn't need to be open world. It doesn't need to be any of that stuff. And from the sounds of it, it is going to be classic Star Fox, meaning on-rail shooting and probably all range mode sections as well. Something else we know about the game is apparently it's going to be beautiful, Nin10do says. It's going to be graphically stunning, and I can't wait to see what it's going to look like, obviously with all the planets and the space battles going on. I mean, honestly, I still think Star Fox Assault is one of the best looking and one of the best executed Star Fox games that I've played. I personally love this game, and in one of the games I grew up with, like, yeah, this game was awesome. Now, I know a lot of people don't really like the ground missions all that much. It kind of turns into like a third-person Call of Duty with all the different weapons and stuff. I thought it was fine. I didn't have a big issue with it. I know the controls suck. That can be fixed easily on a new console, like the Switch 2 since the GameCube. But I personally love those missions, and I would not hate to see them make a return. Some type of out-of-plane missions would be a nice little change of pace. They don't have to be, a majority of the game, but just a small portion would be fine. I don't care. I know some people don't like that. I get it, but still, I would not complain if that returned. In fact, if this was just a better, newer version of Star Fox Assault, that would be absolutely amazing. I would love that. Also, according to Hate, another thing this game will have is online multiplayer. That is such a huge get, because it's just like, how does that not happen? Now, granted, Nintendo really probably hasn't had an opportunity since there wasn't anything really since the Wii U. And plus, the Wii U, I mean, come on, it's the Wii U. Was anybody even playing anything besides Splatoon 1 online? But yes, it's going to have online, so you'll probably be able to have dogfights with your friends, with randoms. There could even be a ranking system. Who knows? It's also why I kind of hope there's also LAN battles as well, because I think that could be cool to have online as well, but who knows? Now, let's also not forget about Starlink Battle for Atlas, which was not even a Star Fox game, but it just included Star Fox characters, and a lot of people think that this was one of the best Star Fox games ever made. I personally didn't even play it, but it's funny to hear that a non-Star Fox game is the best Star Fox game in the series. Battle for Atlas was made by Ubisoft, and specifically Ubisoft Toronto, so yeah, them Canadians, they be cooking, apparently, so maybe they need to be brought back, something like Mario Rabbids collaboration with Ubisoft again, but this time just specifically focused on Star Fox. Could be pretty cool if it's made by, like, Ubisoft at the helm. Who knows? Who knows? Maybe this is, internal Nintendo working on this thing, but I don't know. All I know is that I am rooting so hard for this game. We need this game to do well. This cannot be another Metroid Prime situation, or at least Metroid Prime 4, where it's been forever since we had a Prime game. We finally get one, and it was so just mixed across the board. As someone who grew up playing the Prime games and played them multiple times, Prime 4 just was not it for me, and I'm really hoping we don't have a situation like that with Star Fox, where it just feels like a knife, straight to the chest when Star Fox is kind of already in a coffin right now. This could be the great Star Fox revival that we've been waiting for. Fox McCloud appearing in the Mario Galaxy movie, maybe even getting his own separate movie, and then on top of all of that, a Star Fox game on Switch 2. Oh my gosh, this is just like a Star Fox fan's dream right now, man. I know the diehard Star Fox fans are losing their minds, but yeah, this seems like it's true. Of course, we still technically have to take it with a grain of salt because this is just a rumor right now, but this is coming from a 100% reliable source. And with all things pointing towards this happening, it just makes so much sense, like I said, with the movie stuff. It feels like it's time. I just can't believe Nintendo's going to do this thing on, like, Twitter one random morning. It sucks. This should be in a Nintendo Direct. These are what Nintendo Directs are for. Like, these announcements right here. It sucks. But let me know in the comments down below what you think about this. Are you excited for a new Star Fox on Switch 2, or is this not what you're looking for? Like I said, there's a lot of other information that Nate the Hate brought up, so we're going to be making probably multiple videos over the next couple of days on all this stuff. There's a lot to take in, good and bad. I'm sorry, 3D Mario fans. That's a little a teaser for you. But yeah, Star Fox coming to Switch 2 this summer. Announcement within a month, I guess. He claims around April. So yeah, look forward to some big info soon. But thank you for tuning in. I hope you all have a blessed day, and I'll see you on the next one. See you guys.